And welcome back to another video. Today we have a special video, 7pts Singleton.
Yeah, so old school format always.
Yes.
For us, the July monthly.
Yeah.
So some interesting restrictions in order to make your deck. So definitely spices up the format a little bit. So we'll see one guy on Goblins and one guy on a green-white-black deck.
Yeah. So this one,
Sam's
deck.
Yeah.
We got a
kind of like an Armaggedon inspired.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go again. Hopefully it works out in this format.
Yeah, a little disclosure. This is the 7 points before the change that was made on August 1st.
Yeah. So some cards are a little bit different. Like the Mox, and I think were all dropped, and other certain cards. But anyways. Yeah, for the purpose of this one, the two Moxen in his deck are 3 points each for 6 points, and the Maze of Ith is in the third row. Third row?
Yeah, third row for the 7 points.
So you have some big beaters, like your typical subject, your usual suspects,
Yes.
from Armaggedon, right? The Lion, the Sarah, the Jinn, Disenchants, and
sometimes even the Pixies.
there is I've noticed
as well. Birds of Paradise.
Yeah, well, with the Singleton cards, you can always afford to just get, sometimes, we saw a big difference, right, in the two other monthlies between different Armaggedon decks. Like, one guy had Moxen and no birds, the guy had no Moxen and the birds, so, you're kind of restricted on your choices a little bit. But here with the Singleton, you have more slots to just throw in the cards you might not if you're going one avenue or the other.
Yeah, because you'll see here that even though there's no Armaggedon being played, he still has the mana dorks like the Elves of Deep Shadow, the Llanowar Elves, Birds of Paradise, to just, I guess, ramp up into the beefier creatures like Sarah, Urnam, Cockatrice.
Yeah. And I've noticed in old school with a lot of people, they like to splash black for Darrellor. And this is a format that I think encourages that. So,
well, it's a nice, nice little mix of Darrellor, Urg Raiders, Paralyze, Unholy Strength.
There's Terror also up there for the removal.
Terror, yeah.
So you don't play too many black cards, which is good because it makes the downside of Darrellor not as bad, right? Because you're not really relying on those black cards. You're not relying on drawing black cards, or you're not going to draw black cards as often. So the downside of the format of 4/4 isn't that bad, and then you have a Sarah Angel body, right, without the flying and the vigilance, obviously, but still the 4/4 is no joke. So
especially in this format.
It's a nice Berserk too. I'd like to see the Berserk get used. Hopefully that happens.
Yeah, nice Berserk, and some nice, you got Swords of Plowshares, Disenchants.
There's some spice in the bottom here with a little mini enchantress package. I don't recognize the Thelonite Druid. But,
then we got Dark Heart of the Woods and all a bunch of good stuff. Can't wait to see this deck in action.
I like the Icy Manipulator too. I think that's nice.
Icy's, it's such a good card.
I think this is a good deck to choose Moxen for as your points.
Exactly.
Alright, let's see the Goblin guy now.
Yeah, J-Path's deck.
Look at Goblins.
Briefly. Yeah.
It's Goblins.
It's got all the Goblins pretty much I could see.
It's nice because exactly what I was saying with the Armaggedon deck is there's a lot of Goblin stuff in here that you're never going to see in a regular constructed old school format because you just can't afford to play those weaker Goblins, right? Yeah. But there's Goblin Caves and Goblin Shrine. I think these two cards are in the second row that enchant a mountain, and then it gives your goblins either +2 health, toughness,
+1, I think.
Attack
+1, and then toughness.
+0, +2 on the other one. So +1, +0 on one, and then +0, +2 on the other, which is interesting. I've never seen those before because they're a bit too slow, I think, for regular old school formats, and. But it's nice to see them here, so I'm all for goblins. I've always been a fan of goblins, even growing up and stuff. So
actually, the one card I really like in this deck in particular is actually the Blood Moon, because most 7-point decks usually tend to play 2 to 3 colors.
Okay,
and just splashing that Blood Moon would totally wreck it.
So I think so. That's good though, but I think. Unfortunately for the Blood Moon player in this monthly, I think everybody was just playing very aggressive red or one.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course I'm saying that, but our first matchup is versus a 3-colored player. But even then, I'm looking back at the Armaggedon deck, and it's like not too many non-basics. But I think, unfortunately, because I agree with you, like it's huge. But I think, unfortunately, in this monthly, he might have gotten the wrong meta call. I think. But we'll see.
But I mean, like, you know, there's all like, you know, all the burn cards: Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, Fireball, Disintegrate,
even Detonate. I guess
Detonate, just like
Trike.
Artifact Blast. Shatter Storm.
I always like seeing Shivan Dragon and Dragon Whelp.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and then, you know, the classic Wheel of Fortune, draw 7. Who doesn't like to draw 7 cards? James Day Tome, just to, you know, get through the deck a little quicker.
That's both decks are playing it actually, so I guess it's a thing you can just do. Like you just need the draw in this.
Yeah, I think it's like an automatic add. I mean, it's colorless. Pay for it, draw a card. No really drawbacks from it.
Yeah. The points in this deck are the Fireball at 3, Disintegrate at 2, and the Wheel at 1. I think the Disintegrate in the new system is now at 3.
Yeah, I think there was a big change because mono red decks were getting a little powerful,
a little too
powerful.
Strong. Yeah.
So and understandably, I mean, just look at this deck. You got like, you know, burn spells, bloodlust.
It's quite threatening every turn.
You know, and then you got like your artifact creatures, your juggernauts, your Skellion.
I'm a huge fan of Goblin Grenade. So I mean, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I think. I guess the red guy has the advantage just because it's a lot more consistent of a deck in this kind of format with singleton cards. But there's a lot of big beaters in that junk, you know, green, white, black deck that could put an end to small goblins. So very curious to see what's going to happen. I'm sure it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great match, and let's get into match number 1 in a second. Alright, so both players shuffling cards.
Shuffling up.
The ritual has begun. I'm very excited to see what happens. And full disclosure for anyone who's watching and listening to this, we're watching this with you. We're watching this with you for the first time as well, so...
Like not live?
Yeah, it's not live, so our impressions...
Well, they're live.
They're live, yes.
Kind of. They were live, we're not. Which makes them not live, but it's fine.
Stop confusing people.
Yeah. So Sam on the left with the green, white, black, and J-Path with the goblins on the right. Did I say right twice? I don't know.
So...
see if there's any mulligans happening. I don't know. Yeah, so I think I'm rooting for goblins, not based on a player basis, just on I love goblins. So
well, I mean,
there's that, but at the same time,
isn't that one of your pet decks in pre-modern?
Well, it's a deck that I do play in pre-modern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I play a lot of stuff, so you know. Okay, so yeah, that's a good start, obviously.
Yeah. Great start playing.
Like you're playing Savannah Lion in your deck because you want it on turn 1. So to get it in the singleton format on turn 1 seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, I mean you're only one in the deck and you get it out in opening hand.
No, it's good. I mean, against the red deck is always concerning, but at the same time.
But I mean, there's a lot of one-drop goblins, so I'm sure.
Well, that's what I mean. Like it's at its weakest, I think, in a deck that's also playing one drops with that can kill your 2/1 and also burn spells. We're just going straight into a Winds of Change.
Okay,
so interesting. So... Do you keep your hand that you're gonna just shuffle away, or do you just mulligan? Like, are you doing this because you wanted to mess your opponent up? Because, you know, they kept the hand, so you do it in the same vein as Wheel of Fortune and Timetwister, where, like, now they get a new hand, which they can't decide to mulligan, so it screws up their hand. Or do you just mulligan? Like, I don't know.
I think if I was on the play, if I was starting, and I had the Winds of Change, yes, 100%. I'd drop the mountain
and do it.
And just wreck my opponent, because at that point, they're, you know, they have no choice but to accept what...
If you whiff on your thing here, they've got their line.
Yeah. You know, so
it's interesting. Like, I think maybe you just mulligan if your intention is to do that on turn 1 when you're on the play. Just mulligan instead, perhaps.
Yeah, but it is the singleton format, so I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's also really early. Like, as good as Savannah Lion is, and as much as you want it on turn 1, it is still just a 2/1. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. So he swung in for 2, played Scavenger Folk.
Yeah, follow-up is good. It's important. Let's see what J-Path can do.
Doesn't seem to be doing much at the moment.
But if he's got instance, like, well, it's only really Lightning Bolt, eh? He really wants to be playing his creatures out. Yeah, I guess it kind of feels bad if you're a goblin deck and you're not playing your creatures. You're not able to cast creatures.
I mean, I think he's got Wall of Stone, maybe for some protection. Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolts for some removal. So I guess that's his Artifact Blast, countering his
Chaos Orb is. I was like, Chaos Orb is again in a serious situation where you're the goblin deck and you're not playing anything, and then your opponent has creature Chaos Orb. You definitely don't want that Chaos Orb. So that's a really good detonate. Detonate.
Yeah, no, Artifact Blast.
Artifact Blast.
Yeah, basically it counters an artifact as it's being cast.
Yeah, it's really good.
At instant speed and really good card. Ball Lightning, 6/1 trample seems bueno.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because on paper it makes it so that he's now in the lead.
Yeah.
But I don't think he actually is. And generally speaking, I think you want to use your Ball Lightning when you're actually in a position of being in the lead. But if you have nothing else to do, you got to do something. So get your 6 points of damage in, kind of, right?
Yeah, anytime that you can. Because I mean, if he draws a wheel next turn, draws a fresh 7, he's going down to 12.
If there was a Jin follow-up there by Sam, I would have said game over, probably. But
yeah, for sure. So he's not missing mana. So he's got 4 mountains at this point. Seems like he might not be drawing into very much. But we'll see. Tapping 3. Playing this creature. Yeah, that's the...
Which one?
The creature he's playing right now. Amulet? Something Amulet? Or...
Oh, yeah, it's like a life gain.
Yeah.
Is it whenever you play a land? No. Can it be that good? No, I think it's when it enters and when it dies, you gain 2 life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it leaves the battlefield, I think you gain 2 life.
So that could just be that. Like, so we're saying, I was saying Blood Moon as not a good meta call just by accident, whereas the Amulet probably is for the same reason, right? Like, if there's a lot of burn, a way to be good versus your mirror is to be the burn deck who has life gain.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm assuming that's why he played Fountain of Youth in his deck as well, just to get a little bit of life gain.
Okay, Amulet only gains 2 life when it goes to the graveyard.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's gonna have to have a way to get it to the graveyard.
Okay.
So I was looking at the card. Whose turn is it?
I believe it's Sam's. I think he's probably debating whether or not to use the Scavenger Folk to... Okay, he's just swinging it with the Savannah.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to be the one to give J-Path the life. Like, let J-Path use one of his own cards to get his 2 life if he really wants it. Because I don't know if the deck lists were open or not, but there's a whole top row of artifacts that are juicy and prime for the taking by that Scavenger Folk.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so he...
Oh, the thing is a creature. Jesus, I thought it was just an artifact.
No, it's a creature. Yeah.
Okay, that's how it dies. Okay, jeez, I'm sorry. My God. I thought it was an artifact. No, well, it is an artifact, but... Yeah. There's that valid something.
It's okay. These cards have only existed for 30 years. You'll eventually learn.
Yeah, I've only been playing the fucking format for like 9 or 10 years. Yeah. You'd think you would know a card or 2 by now.
Okay, so now Sam is tapping 3.
There's that, what's that? That's that Druid I've literally never seen that card ever in my life.
Yeah.
Thelanite Druid. Let's get,
Summon Cleric. I think it's a 1/1 or 0/1?
It's a 3 mana 1/1, so 2 in a green for a 1/1. Yes. You pay 1 in a green, you tap it, sack a creature to turn all your forests into 2/3 creatures until end of turn. The forests will still count as lands, but may not be tapped for mana if they were brought. Yeah, so basically they don't have haste. So okay, it's interesting. It turns so sack a creature to make all your forests. That's a pretty good alpha strike, right? Potential.
Yeah, it's
he's already now threatening. He went from threatening 1 damage on board to threatening 7.
Yeah, so he's playing Iron
or
Star.
6, I should say. Yes, it's to sacrifice something. Well, actually, he could sacrifice the cleric itself. So yeah, right?
Yeah, I think so. It says you pay 1 and 1 green and tap.
Oh yeah, so maybe he wants to wait.
Yeah.
It's too early anyways, for sure, but having to tap a green is unfortunate. Though, having the green Moxen is a good thing.
Yes.
Because that is not a forest, but it taps for green. So that's good. He could use that to activate the ability.
So J-Path playing the Iron Star to maybe get a bit of life gain for red spells.
Yeah, that's really good. That triggers on your opponent's red spells too, or just your own?
I think any red spells, period. Anytime a red spell is played, I believe you have to pay 3. So he's playing Stormseeker.
Pay 1. You pay 1.
So you play Stormseeker, which basically does damage to target player for each card in their hand. So
there's the quick 3 damage.
Yeah, I think it's for every card in the person's hand.
Yeah, it is.
Dragon Whelp.
Yeah, you gotta love Dragon Whelp. Yeah, pay for the life gain. Good.
Yeah.
But still, like...
Yeah, so you pay 1, you tap the Iron Star, you gain a life for every time a red spell is cast.
Yeah, so each player, any player does trigger the Iron Star, and it just costs 1, not 3. But so it's interesting. That's what I'm saying. Like if he ends up in a situation where he's in the mirror and he's the one with life gain and the red, like that's.
Well, I mean, you have to consider the fact that he's already gained 3 to life, 1 from the Iron Star and 2 from the creature. Yeah. So otherwise you'd be at 7 at this point.
Yeah,
so,
which puts him very close to lethal with the Druid.
Wonder what his plans are with the Druid at this point, the cleric.
So that Druid is really good. It makes me wonder about making a deck that's like less than 3 colors, so I have more forests.
Yeah. Play the Terror on the Dragon Whelp. Damn it! I never get to see Dragon Whelp attack. Everyone's like, no, not happening.
Dragon Whelp never.
Although I'd feel really bad playing the Terror if the next turn the opponent is like, here's a Shivan instead.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta play, I think. Versus what you know sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, J-Path seems like he's in a bit of a situation.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Paralyzed too, so that swamp came at an interesting time. He's been holding on to a paralyzed for a few turns. Not paralyzed, weakness, right? Weakness. Well, yeah, but there's also weakness in his hand.
Yeah, well, he has Unholy Strength. The top card.
Wait, what's weakness? What the hell's weakness?
Weakness gives the creature -2/-1.
That's the enchant creature.
The enchant creature.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
they're both enchant. Unholy Strength is also an enchant creature.
Yeah. Unholy Strength is that's the one.
It gives the creature +2/+1.
No, there's a minus somewhere in there. Does Unholy Strength give minus something?
I'm pretty sure it's +2/+1. I have to check that.
Because doesn't Holy Strength give ++?
+1/+2, I believe.
Oh, okay. So the difference is
I think it's.
I could have sworn that. Jeez, these Singleton fights. I mean, it's not that it's like a completely unseen card, so this is definitely shame on us or shame on me. But at the same time,
yeah, but these are cards we don't see too often. Always fun to see.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. Yes, okay. It definitely does not give a minus if he's using it on. Yeah, that's another card I've never seen. It's also in the picture. We'll get it for you really quickly here. Oh yeah, Living Lands. So all your forests become 1/1s. Okay, so the theme is there. It's just that there's no way to really buff the whole board other than Pendelhaven. But still, I mean, it's okay. Like, even though you can't give your whole board +X or whatever, you still are threatening damage out of nowhere sometimes.
See, an Earthquake right now would be really nice. Just
completely. Is J-Path playing Earthquake? I don't think he was.
No, which is a shame because I think that would be such a.
We gotta concede. So there's game 1 for Sandwich. Okay, so I still think the Goblins deck is a little favored. It's just that if you don't do anything for the first 2 or 3 turns, and then your opponent has answers for you while they've been curving out, you're pretty much, it's very, very difficult to win from there. So.
But I mean, like, the green player has, like, creatures galore.
Yeah, the creatures are really big, so it can block the Goblins easily. It's just that if you can get your damage in early with your 1/1s and your 2/1s and stuff like this, then you can finish the game with your burn.
I mean, he's got the Living Lands, he's also got, like, all of a sudden you have like these 1/1 creatures out. If he's in a bit of a bind, he can also play his Dark Heart of the Woods, sack a forest to gain 3 life.
Gain some life.
The life gain.
Is that the only card that gains life other than plowing your own? Oh, Spirit Link.
Spirit Link 2, he's playing as well, so I mean, that could kind of, negate some of the damage being done by beefier creatures. So
there's no sideboard in this format.
Yeah, this is no sideboards, no.
Sounds like the format for me. If only we could just get it to not be Singleton.
You're not a big fan of sideboard, are you?
Well,
I just think you're just lazy. That's the problem.
Yeah, that is though.
You just don't want to put sleeve another 15 cards because it doesn't fit into your deck box. That's the only reason.
It's more changing them and having to rechange them.
Well.
All right. Let's see here.
Back to the game. Mountain land drop.
So again, it's a shame. There's so many things to do on turn 1 for him, I think, and he's not doing anything. It's unfortunate, So.
Yeah. See, now if he would have played the Winds of Change in this game, turn 1. I would have waited for that bolt, honestly.
Yeah.
Knowing the little creatures he has, like the mana dorks, the scavenger folk.
The bolt. There's Winds of Change now. Okay, well, that kind of explains the use of the bolt, I would say.
Yeah, okay, now it makes a bit more sense. So you probably just want to get the 3 damage in. Yeah. So both players shuffling their hands, and let's see what's going to be. It's funny that, in the Singleton format, the odds of you drawing Winds of Change in both opening hands practically.
Somebody can definitely do that math. I'm sure it's not hard.
No, I know, but
still, it's a very small number.
Yeah, exactly.
Back-to-back games.
It's like when you play shops decks and then you don't draw any workshops for 4 games.
Yeah, you don't know anything about that, though.
I wouldn't know anything at all.
Suchi's on turn 0.
No, never mind. Focus on the match.
Yeah, focus on that.
All right, both players shuffling, cutting decks.
Oh, got a life total.
Yeah.
I'll take the extra 20 points.
Yeah, I'll start at 40. I don't mind. Players are just figuring out what's going on. Yeah, there's so many of those different apps there for life counters. That's why sometimes old school is just the best. Just
paper.
Dice.
Oh, old school. Paper and pen, you mean? That's old school. Put the pen in the air,
Yeah. I feel like an old man. Back in my day, we used to... Damage was on the stack.
Okay, I like to see a creature out of the Goblin deck. That's good. It's a good start. But it's so it's a 1/1 that destroys a wall. Goblin digging team, or is it a 2/1? Is it a 2/1?
No, it's a 1/1. Goblin digging team. Yeah, most goblins are 1/1s. I'll be there might be.
If you can get a nice Goblin King follow up, or next turn Goblin, and then following turn Goblin King would be pretty ideal.
Even Goblin Grenade would be nice. Take 5 to the face.
Yeah, but again, I like to wait. Goblin King, Goblin Grenade and Ball Lightning are cards I like to wait closer to the end to use.
Yeah.
I mean, I view Burn and this and Goblins in old school. I view them more on the combo side of things. So I like to last second go pow pow pow. 1, 2, 3.
So Stone Rain on the factory. So Sam had swung in for 2.
Yeah.
So I kind of see the factory. The target. I mean, it's one less threat to have to deal with.
The other choice is the planes, right?
Yeah.
But it's just that the factory blocks all your goblins if you don't have.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of stops you from being. Yeah.
You definitely need to see more creatures coming out of the Goblins deck in a matchup where eventually your opponent's going to play 4/4s and 4/5s and.
Yeah, and the thing is with these 2 decks specifically, there's no cards to retrieve stuff from your graveyard. So once you play that card, it's done. There's regrowth.
Regrowth is bad?
No, but it's just I think there's
just not playing it?
Yeah, I think there's a point system. So Goblin of the Floor, is it?
I don't see regrowth.
What's that? There's so many Goblin cards.
No, this is the one that gives +0/+2 to the Goblins.
+0/+2.
Or +1/+0.
I think
no, +1/+0. The one over here gives +1/+0.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to enchant a mountain, though. So giving the +2 health would have been, or toughness would have definitely been better, I think. Like right now the attack is better, but I think overall long term.
Yeah, I mean,
like if you have to be able to keep your guys alive, like you know, like you can get the attack later. You want to be able to not die to living planes in. I mean, maybe I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, yeah, it's just because I think you also can't forget that playing Singleton format is not the same approach as playing like. So you're like, maybe it's so different. I mean, my play style for this particular format would just like right away just try to, so he's berserking his creature, so gain trample.
Well, yeah, he's giving him.
But it'll die at the end of turn.
Yeah, so he's killing it.
So he's willing to take the extra bit of damage, just to disrupting Scepter.
Scepter not bad, but not exactly conducive to the I want to burn your face and attack you plans.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Good to do something, but a little bit lackluster in terms
place of playing, which I'm surprised was not actually played in his deck.
That's rough. That's rough. It's rough to play like the card that's not conducive to your deck's overall plan, and then just have it disenchanted. Or, well, in this case, Divine Offering.
Yeah.
And so he gains life too.
Yeah, exactly. See, in the place of Disrupting Scepter being a burn deck, I would have played Rod of Ruin.
That's the same thing as the Iron Star, just it deals damage.
Yeah, it deals damage. It does 1 point of damage. And I think it would just ping off all, like, if you had that on the, get the Elf, get all the little 1/1 creatures out. And I'm surprised, like, none of the two players are playing
Shivan.
that card.
Okay, Shivan. That's a Shivan.
Okay, Shivan on board.
And there's no Swamp in play, which means no Terror.
No Terror.
Now, Spirit Link would be brutal. Maze of Ith would be brutal.
Yeah.
Swords to Plowshare would be too efficient. I would commit the Seppuku. The Berserk trick is already finished, so you can't do that anymore. But so he just played the Savannah, which means no Terror coming this turn.
Yeah.
Which means that's a Shivan that deals 11 damage. So.
Yeah, that's no joke. That's coming in like.
Because then any burn spell basically just kills after. So.
Yeah, and he played the Lightning Bolt, so he's got a Chain Lightning left.
Fireball, Disintegrate, Chain Lightning, Goblin Grenade, if he draws a Goblin. Wheel of Fortune, sort of, Triskelion. So the delay over here from Sam tells me that there's no way to deal with that Shivan, obviously, I think.
Yeah.
Except for attacking for Alpha Strike. Wow, so interesting. Okay, but it's okay because he can take the 8 damage and just kill the... Oh no, the Druid is tapped and not attacking. Interesting. But it's okay actually, because if he blocks 1, takes 6, and then it happens again next turn, he takes another 6, he only falls to 12, so he won't die. So it's okay. He just has to block one of these lands.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. But also good for Sam though, has the Mox Emerald to activate the Druid so that he doesn't have to use one of the forests.
Yeah.
But also, wait a minute, hold up 1 second. There's an issue here. The Savannah was just played. Yeah, I don't think it should have haste, right? It can't attack. Savannah was just played this turn.
I'm wondering, if the line is played, if it's like under that summoning sickness.
Yeah, I know it has to. No, if once a creature can only attack if it's been in play for a turn cycle.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So he's pointing to the Savannah, so probably.
No, he's just blocking it, but it shouldn't have attacked.
Oh, okay.
So that's an error.
But I think I probably would have honestly, in his place, I probably would have made that same mistake, not thinking about it because it's.
Oh yeah. Well, it's exciting to.
You're just all in that.
It's also exciting to turn all your guys into 2/3s and then go attack for 8. Like it's fun. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's prone to happen.
So all he needs is 1 burn spell.
So yeah, he can feel comfortable attacking for 11, and he just won't die even if there's an attack for 6 again. Even if the mistake happens again and another forest comes down and he attacks for 8, it still won't kill him. It still won't kill J-Path. So Sam really needs to draw removal. Drawing Terror or a Swamp won't cut it because he doesn't have the other card to. So you know what I mean? The black cards are basically useless right now. He needs to draw Icy Manipulator, Chaos Orb, Spirit Link, Maze of Ith, Sword. That's actually 5 cards. It's not crazy.
Unholy Strength.
It's not gonna do it.
Gonna help him.
And that's a game over, I think. Right?
Yeah, I think.
So I'm trying to turn around because right behind me there's a giant poster of Shivan Dragon. I'm just gonna appreciate that for a second.
Yep, Shivan winning the game, I think, for round 2. Okay, well, so I'm thinking, I wonder if he has something.
He can
Pick up his sleeve.
Can he Stormseeker himself?
I mean, if he has a giant growth, he sneaks in a...
Kaboom, and dead. Okay, so we got ourselves a
Alright.
game 3. So like, okay, so this whole this whole game was going in Sam's direction, and then that Shivan just came down, and it was just the biggest lopsided turn of events.
Yeah.
Right, like Jesus, it was almost like you got a feather on one side of a seesaw, and then some giant boulder or whatever just lands on the other side. Crazy how much it just turned
like
there. So
like, I'm winning. Oh,
yeah.
Plays the Shivan and then.
But like, see, if you think about the fact, even if Shivan Dragon was a 6/5, let's just call it a 6/5 for a second, and you just compare that to the Ball Lightning that we saw in match 1, right? Like, if Shivan died the turn it came into play and only did 6 damage, that game wasn't going to be won by JPath. So like, that's why I like to keep Ball Lightning for a bit later, because unless the damage is recurring, like. That Shivan wouldn't have been such a monster of a decider.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, so we got ourselves a third round here, so see what happens. See if it's like that might just, to me, I might be PTSD'd into never using the plow if I draw it in this game 3 in case that Shivan comes back.
Yeah, I'd be like really selective on the creature removals.
Yeah.
The terror, the swords.
Yeah, it's hard to see in JPath's deck, but I think that's a strip mine. So so there is potentially a way to deal with the Mazavith.
Yeah, we're not 100% certain on what the card is because of the deck pick, but it does seem like
and it's a modern frame, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a modern frame strip mine, but yeah.
So I can see like
he's got the Stone Rain,
like just
to deal with.
That's true. That's true. But in the same vein of, I'm not playing that sword maybe until turn 6, and I see that Shivan from JPath's side. It's like I may never play that strip mine. Like I'll just hold it in case he has a strip mine, and I'll just never use it until I see the maze, the card that I'm really afraid of.
Yeah, keep your cards close to you, and then let your opponent just empty out their hand.
And then do your thing. Okay, we got
another turn 1 Savannah line.
Turn 1 Savannah line. Like that was. Winning play, technically speaking, on game 1. So we'll see if it's replicated here. But also, like, I don't want to see it. I'm happy, like, there's no more winds of change in the face of a Savannah line on turn 1.
So he's attacking for 2. 4 is being played. Pixie
costs 2, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, maybe he just didn't tap his planes. Didn't feel the need to. Alright. JPath.
Oh.
Earthquake for
Where
1.
is the Earthquake? We said that there wasn't one.
Maybe he had updated his deck pick.
Okay, so you know what? That makes sense because we couldn't find the 7th point in this picture.
Unless that altered card.
No, that's a token. But if you look at the deck, we couldn't find the 7th point. However, if this is the updated point system, the Disintegrate is 3 points, making it 3 + 3 + 1 for 7. So this deck picture is probably updated, and the Earthquake is no longer there, but he actually did have it, which is massive. That's like a massive play. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That changes like quite a bit.
Yeah.
So he's got his little 2/2 vanilla creature there for 3.
Which all of a sudden looks like an all-star.
Yeah, all of a sudden, yeah, exactly.
I was actually thinking Iron Claw Orcs, the 2-mana 2/2 that like can't block a creature.
Yeah, I think
But just to say that card existed in one of the earliest versions of Sly, like the burn deck from the extended, I think, era, and like that was a beater in that deck. And like if you think about burn in old school, no one plays that card, but like Sly, I think when it was introduced on the scene, got a 2nd place finish, and with that card as a 4 in the deck, so maybe in old school it's actually playable.
I've played against some decks with it, and it's like it's no joke.
Like if you just curve right, like creature into that creature, or burn spell into that creature, into burn spell into creature, like it's just a beater, right? It's just like it could be good for the.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be interested in investigating that as an option, as like a Sly deck in old school with Iron Claw. Like,
Yeah,
It's like paying homage, I think, to the actual Sly deck. So I don't know.
Maybe we could convince some of the people in Montreal to create a deck of some sort.
Yeah. I think the motivation is there. We seem to like burning people.
Yeah. Nobody nobody wants to play shops, though.
Yeah.
The only two people playing shops is the two people commentating this video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, though. Maybe we'll pop in every once in a while. Maybe,
Exactly. So he's got a wild growth on his forests. Okay.
So
nice little vanilla 1/1 goblin.
This could be like last game if now he just plays a Sarah or a Jin or something. It's like all of a sudden,
yeah,
looks like
swings the other way. A 4/4 vigilance creature.
But I did see and disintegrate in JPath's hand, so one more land makes him able to deal with like the big creatures. Oh, that's good. That's a good card. But it's okay. We have what? We have Shadow Storm and Detonate.
Shadow Storm, Detonate, Shatter
is there. That's good. So there are answers to the IC.
So he's gonna tap, I guess.
Yeah.
His 2/2 creature.
What we got for 4 mana?
Shadow Storm.
Yep, seems good. Oh, it also hits the Mox Emerald.
Yeah.
Which is good because now Sarah Angel is 1 land away.
Yeah.
Or 1 mana source away.
1 mana source, so now you have to find another mana source.
Yeah, so kind of seeing the issue with the Daryl. Oh no, but Wild Growth taps for any color or just green?
No, an extra green.
Just green.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the issue with splashing that color is, you're holding a dead card in your hand.
That's why I find like Singleton formats with like 3 colors is a bit risky. Like 2 colors and artifacts, fine, but 3 I think is being a bit too aggressive. Spirit Link, okay.
Like, you still have at least 2 or 3 swings, I think, before you need to worry about cards to the point where you're putting Spirit Links on them, especially when your opponent is threatening you with.
Yeah.
Then again, if you look at the deck list, it's really just the Shivan Dragon that's massive. Well, there's the Mijai Jin.
Mijai Jin, yeah, that's like pretty...
I don't know, I think I would have waited a turn. Yeah, oh my god, that's like, okay, you can't be worried about that. Like, what just happened is not a reason was a mistake to play the Spirit Link. That's just like a thing that happens. Goblin Grenade. That just feels so bad. I mean, that's really good for JPath, right? It's a good use of his resource and a way to say, I don't care about that Spirit Link move, which is usually devastating. Oh my god, I don't follow
Goblin Grenade. We're just talking about that. I like to play these cards later on in the game, and wouldn't you know it?
Yeah, here they are. So I actually read a book when I was a kid called Goblins in the Castle. I don't remember much about it other than it was about a kid who was like a prince or something. He lived in a castle and he found a door which led to this world filled with goblins. And ever since reading that book in elementary school, I've just been in love with goblins. So this is great for me. I'm really happy about what's happening here.
Yeah. I mean, this absolutely devastating. Like, just sacrificing. Not only are you getting rid of the Spirit Link, you're just throwing fight to the face. You're just like, here you go.
Yeah.
Have fun.
That earthquake on...
Oh, yeah, that was such a... Yeah. That changed the pace completely in JPath's favor, that earthquake. So
like, again, from Sam's side, you have to play the Pixie. You can't just not follow up because he might have the earthquake. Maybe you can't do that. So Sam made the right play. It's just, again, that's just a lot of punish is happening in this matchup, and it's favoring JPath quite a lot.
Yeah, so he's playing Living Plane.
Well, at least he can feel safe to do it, right? Because now that the earthquake is gone.
Yeah, that's true. If you played the earthquake,
they are tapped, so it's a swing for 4 here. Puts him to 3, which means any burn spell again just kind of does it. And he has Disintegrate in his hand, so that might just be lethal. Yeah, here it comes. Disintegrate or Bloodlust if he wants to be fancy. There you go. That's this.
Yep, there you go.
That's smash. So interesting. So at the end of the day, the burn deck did prevail. But like, what happened? He
even had the Shivan Dragon in his hand. So.
But see, like, look at the 2 games that he won, that the burn deck won, right? It was like, in all 3 games, I think Sam was threatening, overpowering. That's what the junk, so to speak, deck can do. But then if you look at the games that JPath won, it was like, he had that flying beater that couldn't be answered. that just took over everything, versus the third game where he actually curved out, played his cards, he used his spells efficiently, and he won the game just by his deck actually curving out the way it was supposed to. So
yeah, exactly. So when the deck curves out correctly, it does play very well.
Yeah. So the burn just gets there for you too. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
fun matches.
Bloodlust is minus, +4, -4 on the Goblin King. Just the
Bloodlust.
Yeah.
Bloodlust is always nice too. And I like to see Bloodlust and Berserk finishes. It's more fun to see the Bloodlust than the Disintegrate. He had the Disintegrate in his hand, and I'm happy he used the Bloodlust instead because it's
so much more fun to see.
So good stuff for both players, and on to the next match, I think. Right? So,
yep. See you on the next one.
Got 2 more.